Groove City.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lefty.
You know, it's your boy Rich Furniss, and welcome to another episode of Groove City.
That's right. We are very excited to bring another superb guest. Please welcome our very good friend, Jesse Jonez, to Groove City. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Great to have you here. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, really happy to be here. Really excited about everything.
Nice. Yeah. So where are you from originally? Let's just go right into it, I guess. Go from the top into the bottom. You live here in New York?
Yeah, so grew up on Long Island, about 45 minutes outside of the city. I was coming into the city a lot growing up just to explore music, try and see as many artists as I can. Not only electronic stuff, but all different varieties of genres. Live here now for a couple of years and just loving it.
What was your first introduction to music? And I have a guess, and I want to know if I'm right or wrong or not. So
Let's hear what this guess is.
I feel like you were a hardcore kid.
I was going to say Long Island. Long Island has a big music scene, but I wouldn't say it's a very diverse music scene because I feel like it's like hip hop, hardcore, and then it's like hard electronic music.
Well, I definitely started off on like boy bands growing up into hip hop.
All right,
immediately.
All right.
I'm talking NSYNC, Backstreet Boys,
pop music.
And then we went into rap, and that's really when I started exploring online. All the different types of art that's really out there.
Nice.
Yeah. First live experience on my own was actually a Mac Miller concert at Irving Plaza.
That's fire. I co-signed that, yeah.
Yeah, it was right when he dropped, right after Kids dropped.
Okay.
And he was playing the majority of stuff on that album, and he was teasing into Blue Slide Park.
Okay, cool.
So we were getting a couple of singles off of that.
So that was your first concert experience. What was that experience for you? Were you like, I need to be up there? Or was it just like, were you just a fan at that point? Or
Well, at that point, I want to say it was probably in 10th grade, and it was the first concert that I ever went to with just friends.
Yeah.
I was starting to dabble into my musical abilities at that point, but didn't have the full desire to be, hey, I'm going to pursue this. Hey, I really want to be up there. I want to be doing this and performing in front of people.
Yeah.
It was more taking lessons at guitar, starting to explore what else there is out there, and not fully quite diving into producing or writing my own songs just yet.
I was going to say, because it sounds like your early influences were all like vocalists and singers. So you're like, I want to get into music, and you decided guitar would be your entry into it. Any particular reason why you chose that path?
You wanted to sing at campfires.
There was No, absolutely not. there was a period of time where I went through my Fall Out Boy phase, my red jumpsuit apparatus, Blink 182, every one of that. Yeah, the pop punk Warped Tour era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you guys are pretty familiar with that. So.
Oh yeah, I love Warped Tour, man.
Yeah.
We know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So you started on guitar. Do you still play guitar?
No.
You stopped that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I think once I got to high school, when I started picking up DJing, all of my other musical talents went out the window.
What made you then pick up DJing?
So I actually worked for a private event company on Long Island. It was one of my early jobs, just moving furniture, setting up weddings, communions, bar mitzvahs, you name it. One day I was working
he's going to look way better behind the desk.
I was working there for a while.
Yeah,
I was working there for a while. My boss came up to me, threw a camera at me actually.
Oh, damn.
And he goes, if you go take pictures, I'll pay you a little bit more. I was like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm like 16 years old at weddings and bar mitzvahs taking pictures of everybody who's there.
Yeah.
People were looking at me really funny, like parents especially, being like, what's this kid doing?
Like, what kind of slave labor is this?
So I did that for a while, and then he finally approached me and said, hey, if you learn how to DJ, I could pay you even more money. So I started off doing a bunch of top 40, playing 50th birthday parties, high school graduations.
I mean, that's where I started, baby, for sure.
That's where the roots happened.
Yeah.
That's what really triggered me to say, hey, I love performing in front of people, and I want to keep doing this. And
did he teach you how to DJ, or did you learn on your own, or how did that go?
Totally learned on my own.
Wow, nice.
Bought a controller and just scoured YouTube for Serato videos.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
What was the first controller? Do you remember?
Newmark.
I had a Newmark, yeah.
NS5 maybe?
Yeah.
NS6? One of those? Yeah. And that just really took off.
So you got thrown into it?
Got thrown into it, started playing EDM at high school parties. And
you felt the power of being in control of the party and loved it.
Started getting yelled at.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I started getting yelled at because I was like totally a main stage kid at that point in time.
Yeah.
I was like Hardwell, Swedish House Mafia, but I was digging into like 2009, 2007 area of what they were coming out with. So right before it exploded onto the mainstream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a cool time in music, honestly.
starting to place that stuff out, and people were just like, "What is this? Like, you can't do this now."
And now they all love it.
Now I see people who used to yell at me in high school go into these shows, and I'm just like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. I'll put you on.
It's like everybody who used to hate living in Brooklyn and would make fun of you for living in Brooklyn back in the day. Now they all live in Brooklyn, so.
I won't lie. My first 2 years in the city, I was in Manhattan. I used to hate going to Brooklyn, and I've been in Brooklyn now 11, 12 years. So
Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends who live in Manhattan who refuse to go to Brooklyn, but I'm all for it. I'm a Manhattanite who loves Brooklyn, and
we appreciate your type.
Yeah.
we are a rare commodity.
Yeah,
these days.
facts.
I mean, all the best nightlife is happening in Brooklyn now anyway,
Yeah.
I'd say. I mean, there's
Yeah.
good stuff happening in the city. There's a lot of new stuff, which is cool. So much new stuff has popped up in the last 2 years, which is really interesting. But
Yeah, especially post-COVID, I start seeing more and more venues that are not just your bottle service clubs,
yeah.
but they're more focused on putting in DJs who play the music.
Dude, we talk about this all the time. Like, you'll be walking down 3rd Avenue and there'll just be a door with nothing on it and a line, like
Yeah.
50 people in line. I'm just like, where the hell are they going? What's happening in there? It could be anything. You know?
Yeah, the real shift in like Alphabet City, you get the same experience,
Facts.
especially,
Facts.
and it's just growing. Lower East Side, new venues popping up, putting on DJs. Exciting.
A little sidebar. Do you have any favorite venues in the city right now?
In Manhattan,
Yeah, Manhattan.
ooh,
To attend or to play or both.
Yeah. Or both. Yeah.
I seem to have a lot of friends, and I enjoy going to Virgo and Make Believe on like a Saturday afternoon. It just seems that a lot of my immediate friend circle is getting through the Make Believe rooftop on a Saturday afternoon
Yeah.
when it's half open.
That's a nice vibe up there.
Yeah, it's a good vibe up there. I think for a more electronic scene though, and like more underground stuff, everything's in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Everything's in Brooklyn.
Well, I think that's what you said though. I mean, and I think it kind of explains the boroughs, right? It's like Manhattan, you kind of get a little bit more of the mainstream, nicey kind of stuff, and in Brooklyn, you get the dirt. And I'm a dirt guy. I love the dirt, baby.
That's not true, man. I've been in Brooklyn 18 years. We are not all dirt, Ricky.
Well, it's more. I mean that with the most sincerest way.
I know.
You get more of the underground, you get more of the real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think.
Well, I think a big part of that is too, is because like, especially Manhattan on the weekends, like there's a lot of people that travel to the city to go hang out and party and
Facts.
stuff. So like you have to play to a more general audience, and it's like, you have to cater to that a little bit to make it really fun.
I mean, you have to know where you're going and what you're going to get out of it. I think that really dictates a lot of every individual's experience when they actually go out.
Yeah.
It's what they're looking for. And if you know what you're looking for, you can find it. It's just where you're going to find it.
Yeah.
I think in Brooklyn, you have a more opportunity to kind of play an underground set as a DJ and the crowd be more open-minded to that than you would in the
And
city.
even as a
on
crowd, you have
Saturday.
a better opportunity of discovering something new. You know what I mean? It's less cookie.
Yeah. If the people want that.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that go there wanting that, which is great.
Yeah.
There's
But
only
not
so
if I'm playing. Don't expect it, especially in Brooklyn.
You got to bring the heart, the soul,
Yeah.
funk,
And the dirt, apparently.
And the dirt, baby.
And the dirt. Don't
And
forget
the
a big
dirt.
bag of dirt.
and the dirt.
So, segueing from like one of your favorite venues, what was your first venue that you like came to in the city and then performed at?
Oh, this is a good one. So these were around the same time. These were around 2013, 2014. So I was just graduating high school at that time. And I actually couldn't actually get into any of these venues. So we had to, finagle our way in.
Yeah.
Fake IDs.
As one does.
Yeah, that's one of those. Whatever it is. So the first venue that I started going to religiously was actually Governor's Island in the summers when they would have their concert series.
Oh
there.
yeah, hell
Nice.
It just seemed that every weekend there was another DJ popping up that we wanted to go see, or around that time, just keep raving.
Nice.
Really. We made friends with some guys who were promoters at that time, and they actually had a pretty extensive network, and they were able to book me and a buddy DJ the Governor's Island side tent
Oh.
when Adventure Club was headlining.
Oh.
So that was I think the first show that we ever really played in front of people.
That's a pretty dope first show.
We had to bring a controller to it because we didn't know how to use the CDJs at that point in time.
You made it work though.
We made it work. And since it was Adventure Club, we knew what the crowd was. So we were just playing all across the genres at that point.
Fire.
A little bit of trap, a little bit of dubstep, a little progressive house.
Nice.
You name it.
Seems right.
And right around that time period, we also got booked to DJ Pacha before it went out of business.
Oh, damn. That's dope.
Nice.
So we were in the Pacha basement for 12th Planet headlining.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ah, sick.
So you can see there was a whole variety of different support acts that we were trying to provide at that point.
But that's kind of amazing that you squeezed in there. So you guys networked pretty much. and got
Yeah,
in.
we networked. I remember specifically that night when we went up and said that we were playing there, the bouncer looked at us and he's like, "No, you're not," just because of how young we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had to call somebody on the inside. A manager came out. They said, these are the guys who are doing it. And it all worked out. We had a great set. And ever since then, it was hooked.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a great experience to share because honestly, a lot of people are like, how do I start getting into gigs and stuff like that? So,
Oh, I took a big break from gigs after that for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, I went away to college.
Peaked out. So that's it. I'm done. I can't do any better.
I went away to college and I was like DJing a bunch of frat parties at that point in time. And I just didn't really do as much networking in the promoter scene as I probably should have. I went to school in New Orleans and there's really only one or two venues down there where electronic music's played. And I just started knowing some people, but not enough to really break in. So I took some time. I started working on Ableton, and that's really when the producing,
No, that's fire, though.
dabbling of
Nice.
producing started happening.
So you're forced into that essentially.
Yeah, I had the realization. It's like if I want to be an artist, I can't just be a DJ.
Right.
You need to be able to put something else.
You need another
out there.
product.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many DJs who don't produce music right now that are major touring acts across the country.
What was your inspiration and what was your like entry point into Ableton? Like, how did you finally dive into it?
I started off actually in Logic, messing around because I had a MacBook and I was like, I have $200 right now. What can I buy?
Smart man.
We call him Lefty Logic over here.
Yeah,
We do not.
yeah.
Lefty Logic.
Whatever, Dirty Ricky. I don't know the hell you want, man. Anyway, they don't call me that. Anyway, so
Logic on the brain too. All that knowledge up there.
So you made a wise decision, and then you made an unwise decision, and you switched to Ableton.
Hey, at least I'm not on FL.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I
sorry.
used the phone for a while.
There you go. I am not surprised.
Guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, I started dabbling in Logic and I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't play piano at that point in time. I was having trouble figuring out the syncopated melodies of just all of like the progressive house pre-Big Room. So it wasn't just the one note that was continuously hit.
Yeah.
It was like the Avicii, let me play some chords with a cool pop line on it.
Ah, too musical.
Yeah, nothing.
We're back to the one note.
Now now I'm making 2-note bass lines for tech house, but it's all about the syncopation in it.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Tried Logic, failed miserably. One of my dorm mates, I think it was, had a crack for Ableton at the time. So he gave it to me. I was like, all right, let me just start messing around with this.
Nice.
And it just made more sense for you?
Yeah, it made a little bit of sense at the time where I was able to start putting out like tracks. But I was so...
Was it like more edit kind of stuff? Or?
It was all edits
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. I think the first one I actually finished was Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey.
Nice.
Yeah, just tracks like that. And
Well, I feel like the edit approach, honestly, is why a lot of people do like Ableton. No offense to Logic.
Yeah.
But no, it's because
It's just as easy.
It's just because like it makes sense. For me, it makes sense in a live setting. Like that's what they built it for.
Right.
And it's really easy to get like edits and like re-drums and stuff done through that software, you know? Especially early on because the warping was something that was recent. You know?
I was probably doing it wrong though. I was just tweaking warp markers and dragging them until it sounded like it was in time then.
I mean, in all my experience using Ableton back in the day, because I used to use it for live in some applications with an older project that I had, and I was same thing. Complex Pro, slide them around. You know, you don't want to do the automatic.
No, never that.
Yeah. No. You got to go in and
better,
just, you got to
but-
go in and dial it all out. I mean, I even DJ'd with Ableton for a little while. Me and my friend did, and we had these big controllers.
Shout out to Grave Robbers.
Grave Robbers, yeah, oh yeah.
Was that the original project?
Far from the original.
Far
Well,
from the original.
one of the past projects.
It's one of the past projects, yeah. This is our Bloghouse era project, and
Very fire remixes. You should look it
yeah,
up.
remixes, yeah. The SoundCloud is still up there. There's a lot of heat. Not
There is a lot
No
of heat.
vowels, GRVR, BBRS. Look it up. Me and Ryland. Shout out Ryland.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a dig into that later.
You're gonna
that's
love
good.
it, man.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Rich, you like this story? I actually saw Lefty a couple of weeks ago at TVA Brooklyn. We were at an event, and I had a show that weekend. I'm forgetting where it was, but I was digging through my record box, and I was trying to put together just a crate that I can be prepped with, go in, be happy. I find a Lefty track, and it says Lefty Castle.
Oh,
And I had to look it up. I was like, what is this? And is this him?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
It was on Mix Mash Records from like 2015.
No, it's late 2016.
Oh, okay.
It was my very first release.
Yeah, please correct me. Yeah, so I go up to him, I tell him, I asked him, is this you? And the rest is, yep.
Hell
You
yeah.
can tell the story behind that one.
Yeah. So, so I guess when I started doing Lefty, I just kind of started doing it for fun, just to like make some extra money doing remixes and stuff. Because I stopped doing music, I quit DJing and all this stuff because my laptop broke at the time, and I was like, you know what? I had a laptop.
God bless
that was
USB sticks.
Yeah, exactly. So I ran into this guy who was managing Solid Disco.
Oh, cool.
My good friends now. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm doing a lot of writing and producing, and that's it. He's like, are you still like doing remixes and stuff? I used to do some really dope remixes. I was like, yeah, I get some offers still, so I just take the money and I just do them. He's like, well, do you have like a DJ name? I was like, I've been doing it under Lefty. He's like, oh, I love that. He's like, why don't we try and get the project lifted up? He's like, why don't you make some original music? So I made this track, Castle. He sent it to Laid Back Luke, who had just done, I ended up doing a remix for Mix Mash, was my first release with them for Solid Disco, and ended up popping off SoundCloud, like really blew up on there. And then they're like, do you have any originals? We want to put out a Lefty original. So I put out Castle with them, which was like kind of my version of a Future House track, which was hot at the time.
Yeah.
But it's not really that Future Housey. It's kind of more like, it's like a mix of like some throwback vibe and like a kind of a Future House drop. So
Cool.
but yeah, man, it's a hot track. That's funny you found it.
Yeah, I just stumbled upon it and I was like, no.
Spin it out?
I
It's
was
a
like,
beast.
no freaking what? No, I haven't spun it out. I might have to now,
It's
but
super hot. I'm not gonna lie. The funny thing, actually, there's a little vocal sample on there that's like, yeah, right? Just like a little repeated thing. That's Kaisa, which I took from a song that we had written together that I sampled. I gave her publishing on. She was cool with it, and I signed her into that,
Cool.
which is the whole thing. So a little fun fact for you. So check it
yeah,
out.
that was a good throwback story for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. Yeah.
Late 2016 was the first official Lefty release.
Damn.
I think that actually maybe come out in 2017, I think, and the remix was in 2016. I don't remember, but
Around the time.
that's a great one.
Around that time when Future House was hot.
That's right when
Things
I
were
kicked it
popping
off.
off.
Yeah, exactly.
What new stuff do you have coming up?
I've been on a production tear the last year and a
Yeah,
half.
and your production is awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're
Thank
both
you.
really big
I
fans.
appreciate that. So I've had a few aliases in the past that we won't talk about, but
I think you need to bring it up now.
the Jesse Jones project launched late November 2021. So it's been about a year and a half. I think I've put out a record every single month
Nice.
in that year and a half, and things are still lined up going forward. So it's just been nonstop production, dropping lots of records and trying to keep improving on what I perceive to be good in the studio and not what people would like, but what I like. Ultimately.
Yeah. Nice. That's the way to do it.
Coming up, let's see. I just released a single on Rim that was called Mind Control. They're a Spanish-based label.
Yeah, we were talking about it before you
Yeah,
came in. Actually.
yeah, putting out a lot of tech house. That's a really fun one. It's really like acidy.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Blending like a 303 line. It's
Yeah.
like a main driver between it. I seem to be leaning a lot in that direction lately.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good lane for you. I mean, it's a great track.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not your typical cookie cutter repetitive stuff that people dislike. I happen to like some of that, so no hate to whoever really produces that, but I like a good portion of it. Yes. need to throw that out there. I like solid grooves. What else do I have coming up? I have a single on Groove Basement coming up, Cinco de Mayo. Check it out. It's called Waiting. Really excited about it. There's a little bit of a turn for me, bringing some more melodic elements into this track.
Okay.
Big pad breaks. I hate to say this, but it's like a melodic tech house track. I don't even think these are. I don't even think these are real genres anymore. I'm just making it up as we go.
subset of the
acid
subset.
tech house, melodic tech house.
I mean, I categorize stuff like that.
Whatever you want it to be.
The lines are blurring for sure.
Yeah, whatever you want it to be. And then in July, I have a single coming out on Stash, which I'm really, really excited about it. It's a track called Memories. I've been teasing it out for a little while now, and it's just been getting a great reaction every time I play it.
Sick.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. There's this big epic breakdown with the old school '90s piano sound with these fire chords, and it's just put your hands up and enjoy the moment.
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, I'll be playing it for you later today.
Yeah, sweet.
For anybody who wants to find you online, where they find you?
All my handles are at Jesse Jones Music. Jones with a Z. Remember that. It's a Z.
Z. I want to take this time real quick to thank the Sound Collective for having us in this beautiful facility. There's a ton of products that we offer here, including membership, where you guys can use any of the gear in this facility. We have these great production stations, recording studio, student lounge with DJ setups, recording studio, live streaming room, performance space, anything that you want to improve your craft. We also have online subscription and certificate where you guys can learn at your own pace online, private lessons, intensive programs, anything you can. We have the tools here to help you guys get better. I want to thank my boy, Jesse Jones, for coming in. Honestly, bro, thank you. Amazing DJ, great producer, even better person. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Bye, man.
And I am Rich Furniss.
And I'm Lefty. Peace out.